So this is what we're making, a domed patterned earring. You can make it any size you want. This is 19 millimeters in diameter, but pick your own size. Start with a piece of metal, 0.5 thick. I'm using fine silver for this, that's annealed, and it's 24 by 24. Now we're going to put a pattern in this, and I'm going to use a hammer that just an old ball peen hammer that I've put marks on the end. So I'm going to hammer with this, and then we'll cut a disc out of it. So just onto the anvil, and put a nice pattern in it. And you can see. So now we're going to cut a disc out. If you have a disc cutter, use it. Now the pattern goes down when you put this in the cutter because the pressure will be on the back of the metal. So just line that up, tighten your cutter so that it holds everything in place. And then we just go over to the anvil and give it a smack. So now we have our piece that's cut out. If you don't have a disc cutter, it's no big deal. Mark a circle and saw it out. Use a number 2 cut flat hand file to tidy up the edges, and then your sanding stick with 400 grade paper. So now you have your disc with the pattern on it. Put it on your bench plate, use a punch, and put a mark where you're going to drill a hole. This is an automatic center punch, but you can just use a hammer and a nail if you want. So now, just a 1 millimeter hole at that spot. And we're going to dome it. If you have a wooden doming block, dapping block, use it because it will never erase part of your texture. If you don't, use a metal one. Just don't get carried away hammering it. So I'm just going to use a fairly large punch because I don't want much of a dome. And you can hear it when it gets to the bottom. So that's our dome disc with the nice pattern still fresh on it. And now we'll make an ear wire. I didn't anneal this. I'm using fine silver, and I bought it dead soft when I bought it, so I could form it, not anneal it, and the fact that it's fine silver means that I won't have fire scale on it. So now just tidy up this edge a bit with your sanding stick before you make your ear wire, and it shouldn't take much. Few passes. Don't sand the outer surface. So now we need a piece of 0.8 round wire, 45 millimeters long. So yep, 0.8. You can cut these with your shears or your side cutters. File the ends flat using a number 2 cut flat hand file. Use your sanding stick. Make sure you knock the burrs off the end. Don't want to cut your ear. Now use flat half-round pliers for this. And I've got marks on the pliers, texture marks. So you just hold the end, roll this tight against your finger, center the loop, push it across the edge of this across to the outside edge of your pliers, down 45 degrees. Put that mark on the other side of your pliers, come up to the large part of your round pliers and push that up and over. Put a little kick in the end. So that's your ear wire. So just twist this sideways to open it. Put your disc on. It holds a little bit tight for that one. I closed it up a bit when I domed it. Then close the loop with your parallel jaw pliers. Straighten out the wire if it's a little bit tweaked. And there you go. A domed patterned earring.